Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the all-new 2025 Ford Explorer ST. Huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This ST is finished off in a star white metallic with an MSRP just over $61,000. And under the hood, this is powered by the 3-liter EcoBoost V6. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic. It pumps out 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the full-time 4-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,600-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. It has a top speed of 146 miles an hour. It also has a larger fuel capacity for the ST model at 20.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 18 miles per gallon in the city, 26 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 119.1 inches. Its overall length is 198.7. It has a width of 78.9, a height of 70.2, and its ground clearance measures in at 7.8 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, there are some refreshed designs compared to the previous year. Up front, you'll notice there's a new headlight design where everything is LED, of course, for the DRLs, headlights, high beams, and turn signals. There's also LED fog lights in the lower section, along with some gloss black. The grille is a little bit larger, finished off in gloss black as well, where there's the forward-facing camera just underneath the Ford badge. ST is over on that driver's side there. There's also a sensor in the lower section for the distance pacing, along with all the parking sensors. Some more gloss black accents. Gloss black is even on Explorer, and then there's some really nice lines, very subtle lines that come down the hood. Now, new for the ST is a different set of wheels. So these are 21-inch wheels with a really nice design to them. This also has the upgraded performance brakes, which are finished off in red. This does have power folding side mirrors with the camera and the turn signal. There's a full moonroof up top, along with the roof racks. All of the window trim is blacked out as well. The ST also gets a sport-tuned suspension as well, so we'll see how that drives once we get out on the road. All of the fender flares and the lower section is finished off in plastic. There's some gloss black along with Explorer stamped in the lower section just underneath that front door there. Now, as we work our way to the back, this has the body colored spoiler. There's also the third brake light, wiper blade in the lower section, LED taillights, which are redesigned from the previous year. There's the backup camera along with gloss black running right through the middle of that power liftgate. All of the parking sensors are in the lower section. This also has the upgraded towing package, so it's capable of towing right around 5,000 pounds. And then there's that quad tip dual exhaust. Let's take a listen to this now. It does have remote start. It's not all that loud, but you can use that to start it up, of course. There's also the control to open up the liftgate. Now, if you don't want to use the key, simply just push under the R there, and the liftgate will quickly open up, where there's a good bit of storage. The Explorer is a 3-row. So as you can tell, we have a 50-50 split for the third row. Even with that third row up, there's a lot of space behind that seat. There's also hidden storage underneath the floor. And then you have a 12 volt. You can see what the storage is like if you have that down. And then you can also fold down all of the back seats. So if you need to place in some larger items, you have the room to do that. The third row is also automatic, so you can use these adjustments individually, or you can just push the button in the middle to fold and unfold both of them at the same time. And then up top, you can close and lock the vehicle with those controls on the right side. Now, as we take a look at the interior for this ST, this has the manual adjusting sunshades, so you can use those as needed. There's also some really nice accents underneath that, along with the leather and stitching, and then the speaker, a little bit of storage down below. You can also opt for a 7-seater. This particular ST is the 6-seater, so we have the captain's chairs for the second row. Let's hop into the third row though, where you can just pull on that control and slide that seat forwards. Where at 5'10", we have the 2 seats in the back, where it's not all that bad. The captain's chairs do slide forward if you need a little bit more legroom. And as far as headroom goes, I have 2 or 3 inches actually, so it's not bad. We have some air vents up in the headliner there, place for a cup holder, a little bit of storage. There's also tie downs as well, and you get a little bit of storage up here with this window. So I could ride comfortably in the back here and be fine. So for its small exterior sizing, Ford did a great job with integrating that third row. And then as we hop into these captain's chairs now, we have that bar to further adjust them. We have storage pockets. There's also the climate adjustments. You get heated captain's chairs as well. There's some auxiliaries and then 2 cup holders in the middle. There's also the adjustable armrest. And then at my height, I have plenty of room with the seat all the way up. And then we have the adjustments here to recline just to get a little bit more comfortable. So again, for its sizing, plenty of space for 4 people in the back there. Now, as we work our way to the driver door panel, there's all these same materials, Bang & Olufsen for that sound system, your side mirror adjustments, window controls, and then the storage in the lower section. Ford Performance is also down on the door sill there. And then new for the ST, we have ST in a little bit different of a design than previous years. And a very nice seat with all the automatic adjustments. Now, as we start this back up, let's take a listen to that V6. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, you'll notice on the left side there's the tach along with what gear you're in. Right side is miles per hour along with the fuel level. And then right in the middle, you can go through that info using controls on the right side. So there's your Bluetooth and voice commands along with back arrow and then menu and these arrows. If I start scrolling, we can scroll through all of this information here under my view. So you can actually configure what you would like to see here. If I push on menu now, we can get out of my view. Go into trip information, you have some status and information that you can look at. There's also vehicle maintenance, so you can pull that up as needed. You have your audio, phone, and then you can even change miles per hour to kilometers per hour there. Not a whole lot of info, but it's very nice. There's also a sensor on the steering column there to make sure that you are paying attention. This also has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. On the left side, there's the cruise, distance pacing. There's also volume adjustments as well. And take a look at this solid and perforated leather steering wheel with all the red accents. There's some brush trim accents with ST at the bottom. Very nice sporty style steering wheel for this ST. Now on the left side, there's the liftgate release along with headlight and fog lights, dimmer switches, really nice accents surrounding the one air vent there. And then as we look at the infotainment system now, by pushing on home, you get to this split screen here where there's your Google Maps, you have your audio as well as phone, and then you can push on car, go into your ambient lighting, you can even get into your seat adjustments so you can further go through that, even engage the massaging seats so that way you can have a nice relaxing ride. There's vehicle status, you have various settings that you can get into and adjust just by scrolling through all of this information. And then for the last one, you have a lot of icons. There's the Play Store, you have messages, you can look at your towing, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have quite a lot that you can go through within that system there. And then in the lower section of the screen, this is within the screen itself, you have temperature dials along with your ventilated and heated seats. You have the heated steering wheel as well. There's your fan speed, your auto, where you'd like the air to go, and a few other research there. There's 2 air vents underneath that, then power and volume. There's the auto start, stop. This also has a shortcut to the parking chimes there, so you can monitor that. There's hazards, along with a shortcut to the camera system. So this is the forward-facing camera with the top-down view. And then you have a few different angles here for the forward-facing camera. There's also a hitch view with another backup camera angle. And then you have traction control and the auto hold. There's also wireless charging with some more storage on that right side there, which is a nice integration to see. Underneath that, if we open up this lid, there's some more auxiliaries as well as even more storage to place some items as needed. There's 2 cup holders on that right side. And then by twisting this dial once to the right, you have the backup camera, so you can go through all of that again. There's also drive, the manual setting, and then park is back to the left. Now behind that, there's the e-brake. There's also a few different driving modes. So twist on this dial, and those will appear on the gauge cluster there, where you have some light off-roading, you have some slippery conditions, there's also normal, eco, sport, and then the last one is for tow and haul. So really neat to see that amount of driving modes. There's a little bit of storage tucked away behind that, and then you have plenty of space in both the center armrest with an auxiliary, and then down in the glove box as well. Explorer is also in that trim accent, just underneath the airbag cover. There's the rear view mirror. You have a bunch of dome lights, sunglass holders. There's also controls for the sunshade and sunroof, as well as garage door buttons on the sun visor. And then here's a look at visibility. You have that headrest there, but you can easily see around it, and you can easily see over that left side as well. As we get behind the wheel now for the Ford Explorer ST, this is the highest trim level for the 25-year model. There's only 4 different trim levels for this year. I recently reviewed the Active, which is the base model with the 4-cylinder. Now we're in the ST with the V6. So we have a lot more power for the Ford Explorer, which is really cool to see. And with a mild acceleration for this brand new vehicle, we'll go into second gear here. That's got plenty of power for not even close to quarter throttle there. So the potential for the Ford Explorer giving you that performance is really cool to see. If you are new to the channel, I have mentioned before that the first vehicle I ever learned how to drive was a 1995 Ford Explorer. I do not remember how much power that vehicle had, but the Explorer has come a long way since the days of remembering that Ford Explorer. With 400 horsepower, we have a lot of goodies for this to really give you that added performance if you're looking for a smaller size 3-row SUV, but you still want some of that performance. You want a little bit of towing aspects. We have a pretty sporty characteristic and driving style for this Ford Explorer, and that includes the sport-tuned suspension. Now, I'm not on the smoothest road right now, but to me, it seems normal. It doesn't seem like it's harsh or anything. For this type of vehicle, that suspension would never be something that's back-braking. This is a vehicle that you could absolutely daily drive, and I drove the Active so long ago, I don't remember the difference between the non-sport mode and the sport suspension versus the non-sport suspension there. But let's talk about maneuverability real quick, since you are going to be in some tighter parking lot situations with this vehicle. I like the fact that Ford did a great job giving you the 2 back seats in the 3rd row without giving you a large vehicle. So we had to do a couple turns there for the narrow road that it is, but not all that bad for its size. So if you need the extra seating, but you don't want a large 3-row, this is a great option to go with. And without even thinking, we're up to speed. That was just a gradual acceleration. So performance is spot on with the 400 horsepower for this. But it's been super comfortable to drive. I haven't experienced any wind noise, road noise. You know, I'm not out on the highway for this test drive, but it seems like a super solid vehicle. And as far as that suspension goes, it's going to give you a little bit better of a handling vehicle as well. And with it still in sport mode, we'll go to second gear again. Here we go. And very light on the accelerator. We're up to speed. I can definitely feel that this has plenty of power. Paddle shifters are also very responsive as well. And while we have the 10-speed, it seems so far that you would be able to play with some of the gears. This isn't a performance style vehicle, but it looks like if you want to, you could have some fun with it and really wring out those gears, even though there's 10 of them. So it's going to help with your fuel efficiency. If you're towing and you need to change gears as well, you have the option to do that, which is really nice. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the all-new Ford Explorer. I will say, for the $60,000 price tag for this Ford, it's a really nice option to go with. We have a lot of luxury brands that are going to cost around the same. However, with the ST, you get the top trim level. So for 60 grand, you get a fully loaded vehicle here versus some of the other luxury brands where you might be getting more of a basic model versus having fully loaded in this. So I can see the appeal to going with the Ford Explorer versus maybe a GX 550, which is going to cost a little bit more for the base starting MSRP. So you're already a couple grand less than this. BMW X5s, you're going to be in the used market at that price point. Same with Audis, maybe the Q5, something like that. If you're looking at a luxury brand, I mean, this even has massaging seats, which is very impressive for it. And it drives very nice. I haven't put that many miles on it. Hopefully we'll get an Explorer for a press vehicle so we can really get some seat time behind the wheel, but it seems like a super solid vehicle. I like all of these materials as well. So, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with a brand new Explorer here. It seems to give you all the creature comforts that you would like, and this is something that will be a great daily driver. If you need to haul people, you have extra storage. It's a well-rounded SUV, especially for its size. And it also sounds pretty good too. for that EcoBoost V6. This is a vehicle that you could even put on a different exhaust if you wanted to and just have some fun with those aspects as well. So it gives you a really cool option to go with, and to have a performance SUV that has a lot of capabilities to it. But that's going to wrap it up for the all-new 2025 Ford Explorer ST. Once again, huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.